because of this, it was kind of hard to, it was actually kind of hectic inside the school itself, and the classrooms were very confusing and hard to find, but the staff was very polite and assisted me in any way possible. One incident that stood out the most to me, and out of all the observations, was during a reading class between an African American girl and a white boy. The teacher assigned groups of 2 within the class, and the girl stated that she didn't want to be in the same group as this boy because she didn't like him. Neither the teacher or the boy did much to react to her demands, and the class continued. Later that day, the same girl tells the boy she thinks he's gross, and she doesn't want to do anything that involves him, such as sitting next to him, or even touching things that the boy has already touched, like physically. The teacher again blew off the situation, telling the boy just to ignore it. I concluded a few things from the situation, that there's clearly a difference of cultures here and how things are handled. I believe her actions and behavior reflect the culture she has grown up and still lives and experiences outside of school. And maybe the teacher and boy, the culture that they live in, maybe handles things a different way than she does from her culture. I believe that perhaps maybe if it was more of an understanding of everybody's culture and how things are handled in a more universal way, that situation could have been handled better. The question is really like how much attention do you give to this situation as far as compared to the whole classroom itself. We had this discussion, like how do you know how much attention to give each student, as far as in a classroom, and give it equally to each student. So when it comes to the situation, how do you really go about solving the problem without just deserting the whole classroom or soaking on this one problem? How do you kind of figure out how important it is, or really how you should handle it? As far as the topics, I refer to the book a lot, especially as far as multicultural education. It clearly states that there's multicultural education starts with the lack of discrimination, and in this situation, I do believe it was a form of discrimination, and it should have been handled, I believe, in a different way. There clearly wasn't enough multicultural type education in that classroom itself. The book didn't really kind of go into, I believe, a situation like this, even though I think the book did hit on some key points as far as teachers and how multicultural education has benefited us. Surprises, technology-wise, I believe that in this time of day, when technology changes all the time, I didn't see as much technology as I thought I was during the classrooms or in the classrooms. But again, I do know that depending on what school you're at and how much school the money has, technology really differs or varies wherever you're at and what school you're at. As far as what I learned teaching a diverse group, you just have to have an open mind when you come in. You can't have any kind of opinion or prejudiced thought towards any kind of idea. You just have to somewhat accept and just kind of learn and adapt to what comes towards you as far as diversity. You just have to kind of have a open mind what I've learned from as far as teaching a diverse group, because if you don't have an open mind, then you really don't accept and welcome everybody